2 days after finishing college in 1961, I set off alone to Austria on a Lambretta scooter, 150cc, that did 92 miles to the gallon. The Dover-Calais crossing was £2.15, about $7.7. I passed by Brussels and I could see the 1958 Atomium exhibit in the distance, and I stopped in Liège at a pen friend's house. I motored along the German autobahn, staying at youth hostels in Mainz and Fuson until, after 1,000 miles, I reached Innsbruck, Austria. I was the slowest vehicle on the autobahn, but I was able to go at 50 miles an hour by drafting behind a big American Army tank transporter. A rear tyre blowout was quickly fixed with a spare wheel that was tucked underneath my suitcase at the rear. In Innsbruck, I met my first and only 2-litre beer mug. Well, that consumed the whole evening. After a 2-day rest, I travelled over the Brenner Pass, 4,500 foot altitude, to Italy, and then I re-entered Austria to stay at Heiligenblut. When I attempted the Grossglockner Pass, 8,448 feet altitude, my carburettor conked out, and I had minimum engine power. I had given a lift to a large Austrian, which could have been part of the problem. As we returned down the pass, he indicated that I could stay at his place and we would drink schnapps all evening. Actually, neither of us could speak the other's language, and I stayed at the Heiligenblut youth hostel instead. While the fuel system was being fixed, I whiled away the morning by tossing a large pole end over end like the Scots do with a caber. I made it to the top of the Grossglockner Pass, and I walked on the glacier, which was 2 miles wide and 14 miles long. It moves slowly, and it makes a sound like walking on cornflakes. On my descent on the other side, I got carried away and I overtook a car at 40 miles an hour. My back brake heated up enough to explode the back tyre in a tube around where the split wheel hub was joined. Must have been some pressure. I went through Innsbruck to Landeck via a stony track and met 2 English lads I had met earlier over the 2-litre beer session. We met numerous cows with bells hanging from their necks as we climbed the Grapbag mountain, 7,200 feet. After a rest day, we tried to climb the Grap Spitz mountain. Malcolm got stuck and I reached the ice level. As we returned, a number of Austrians seemed to be searching around. They told us they were looking for 3 people who were seen going up the mountain and had not signed the book at the bottom. I left Landeck and attempted to give Malcolm and his enormous backpack a lift back to England. The scooter frame distorted badly on every hairpin bend. After 40 miles of intense concentration, we found ourselves in Italy. We had gone in the opposite direction. We returned and I dropped Malcolm off at the train station. I got past Ulm, but then the clutch failed. I got through Stuttgart's traffic lights by running alongside and jumping on the scooter at 5 miles an hour and engaged first gear with no clutch. It was a real slog up the autobahn and I slept overnight by the roadside. After 350 miles, the speed cable broke, oil leaked out of the shaft drive and the rear bearing failed. Before the gears were permanently damaged, I got it fixed at Bert's garage in Leuven, Belgium, and slept above the garage, which was cheaper. I returned safely to England.